This is question number 9 of homework 3. Go to the St. Louis Federal Reserve FRED database and find data on currency, traveler's checks, demand deposits, and other checkable deposits. So these basically are the 4 components of the M1 money supply. So calculate the M1 money supply from the most recent month available to the same time 1 year prior. Click the following link to view the data on currency. So if I click on that, you can see this will give me basically the chart on the currency component of M1. So as I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, one particular variable we should notice is this symbol here. So this symbol, it's useful because later on if you want to add a second or third graph to the same chart, using the symbols, like in this case, the traveler's checks, there's the symbols, or the variable name, demand deposits, this symbol, and the other checkable deposits, and this symbol. You can just use these symbols to add these 3 additional lines to the same graph. So the question is asking us basically first to fill in this table. So looking at this table, we can see basically the 2 columns here are the 2 time periods. One is December 2017, another one is 1 year earlier, which is December 2016. If you check the graph, you can see the latest available data is in December 2017. And basically, December 2016 is just 1 year earlier. And the units here, you can see it's already billions of dollars. So that's what's given here. So that means we can just directly put in the numbers. Now let me add the other 3 lines. As I said, we will need this symbol here. So let me just copy and paste that into this add data series to graph. So once you put that symbol down, you can see traveler's checks outstanding. So we add that. So now let me close that. You can see right now actually the blue curve, which is the currency component of M1, is still seems to be the only one showing on this chart, but it's not, because the red curve, which is traveler's checks, is showing on the chart, but because the amount of traveler's check is so much smaller than the currency component of M1, so just graphically speaking, it's not so obvious. The chart, this line is not so obvious. But if you just put your mouse on any point here, you can read 2 numbers. So that doesn't affect us to answer the questions. So let me continue to add the other 2 lines. Similarly, so the demand deposits, we just copy and paste this symbol here. So add data series, and that, and finally, and add the 4th one, which is the other checkable deposits. So just put this symbol down, and so close this menu. So now you can see, if you move the mouse to any point on this chart, you can read 4 numbers with different colors. So with that, we can answer this question. In December 2017, the just put the mouse in December. The currency is 1525.8. So this is 1525.8. And travelers checks. Sometimes this might be a little bit sensitive, so we need to be maybe we need to move a little bit slowly. And travelers checks will be 1.9. So this is 1.9. And demand deposits, that's already filled, but you can double check to see whether it's the same. And in this case, it is 1478.6. 1478.6. And other checkable deposits, that's 593.7. So 593.7. So now we can add these four numbers, and that will become our total M1. So 525.8, 1525.8 plus 1.9 plus 1478.6 plus 593.7. So altogether, this is 3600. And we do the same for the other time period, time point, which is December 2016. So it's right here, 1421.3, 1421.3. And travelers checks, you can see that's already filled. That's 2.2. So that's the same as what's shown here. And demand deposits, that's 1372.2. 1372.2. The other one is also given, but you can double check. 546.2, and that's the same. All right, so we just add these four numbers up for December 2016. 2.2 and plus 1372.3 0.2 and plus 546.2. Yeah, so that's 3341.9. 3341.9. So check my answer. We're done. So then calculate the percentage change in M1 and each of the four components of M1 from the most recent month available to the same time 1 year prior. So currency, which is basically currency goes from 1521.8 to 14. Sorry, this is the earlier time period. So it goes from 1421.3 to 1525.8. So we can just calculate the percentage change in this way. 1421.3 over 1421.3. So that will give me 7.35%. So we have to be careful about the rounding requirement. So round your percent to one decimal place. What about the other one? Did I enter your response exactly as they appear? So this is what's shown there. So that's correct. And then here, one decimal place. So we just need to keep one decimal place that where if you round up, that will give us 7.4%. So this will be 7.4. So we do the same for the travelers checks component. So travelers checks goes from 2.2 to 1.9. So this will be a negative change. And that will be 13.6 negative. Have to be very careful about the sign. Negative 13.6. And demand deposits, we go from 13.72.2 to 1478.6. 1372.2 over 1372.2. Oh, I forgot to put equal sign there. So 7.8%. 7.8%. And other checkable deposits, so that will give me here this number. So it goes from 546.2 to 593.7. So that 593.7 minus 546.2 over 546.2. So that will give you 8.7%. 8.7. And finally, the M1. So M1, we actually did the calculation here. So we just need to do their percentage change. So this is December 2017 minus December 2016 and over December 2016. So this gives me 7.7%. 7.7%. So now let me check my answer. Excellent. And which component had the highest growth rate? So we can just look at this table. It seems that other checkable deposits, yeah, 8.7%, that has experienced the greatest growth over last year. So other checkable deposits. And which component had the lowest growth rate? The lowest obviously is this negative number here. That's traveler's checks. It's traveler's checks. So check my answer. And the rest of the problem is just to repeat the calculations from that even earlier time period, January 2000 to the most recent month available. That's still December 2017. So I just skip this part of this question. So I hope that using this example, I further showed you how to do some real-time data analysis questions, like how to add lines, like what I did here, how to add lines to the same chart, so you can have multiple time series displaying different variables over time. And also how to read the numbers from the chart by putting your mouth to a specific time point based on what the question is asking. So here we have two time points, December 2017 and December 2016. So you can just put the mouth on those two time points and simply read the numbers. But you have to be careful about the units. Just happens here the units are all in billions of dollars, either on the chart or on this table in the question. So you can just directly copy the numbers from the chart. Otherwise, you may have to convert the numbers on the chart into the units that's shown on this question, like what we did in one of the earlier questions.